Well, my friends, I'm here in Mexico. I'm here with Justin. We're gonna talk Rocka, and I'm excited because there's a whole world of Rocka out there, Justin, but it's tough to kind of put a nice bow on and put into a box because you're doing so much. It's not every day that I say whatever you're doing, put it down, pay attention. This could change what's going on in your life right now because what you're doing here, the growth and the potential growth moving forward in so many countries around the world, Justin, I need to hear more about it. They need to hear more about it. And we're trying to figure out how to, yeah, I see you getting excited about it. So help me learn about Rocka Solutions, info@rockasolutions.com. Keep rocking. I mean, you have hashtags. You're obviously a forward-thinking company, but what are you actually doing?
You know, you got me fired up. I think we need to drop down, do some push-ups, maybe some jumping jacks, but you know, our motto is keep rocking, and it also is everything you need. And Rocka Solutions started 6 years ago as a distributor, as a global distributor, but we were really just focused and kind of isolated into Mexico. And over the years, by just offering great service and partnering with incredible brands, we've branched out into so many different markets, and that has allowed us to actually invest in our own manufacturing. And what we're really so excited to share with the world is about 3 years ago, we started manufacturing our own products. And today, we're sharing the Rocka manufactured products in the USA, Canada, Europe, Mexico, and now even Brazil.
That's incredible. I mean, I want to talk about the growth. I know that's important to you, but I want to also take this really down into rudimentary level first and go, and please correct me where I'm wrong, Justin, because you've been doing this a while and I'm so excited to learn. In fact, this young man and I were on podcast not too long ago and I got to learn some of this, but I'm going to take it rudimentary. At the basis, at the core, at the roots is distribution.
Yeah, absolutely. Distribution is what it really all comes down to. That's what built the foundation of Rocka Solutions, other than having a president, founder, and CEO that I think travels more than you do. So for that alone, I mean, he probably consumes more coffee and sleeps less. But you know what? His hard work, his passion is what has bred through this entire company. But when we talk about distribution, what we're really talking about is making sure that these large manufacturers have every product they need. You know, you come from that machine world, that big equipment world. I mean, I've watched your videos, I love what you're doing, but what people forget about is the small stuff you see in the background. The paper, the pens, the tweezers, the rolls, the clean room wipes, the gloves to make sure that people are safe and sanitary. And if they don't have that, they're shut down.
Well, we're gonna get into product reviews in a completely separate video because you do have so much going on. I say distribution because you've figured out how to do things so uniquely that you started your own manufacturing again in such a unique way that you're able to build a rapport with your partners out there and give them something that they've never had before, prices that they've never seen before. But if I'm just going, well, I'm going to Google right now, I'm looking for distribution on so-and-so product, why Rocka?
That's a phenomenal question. And in today's world, most people are just gonna go online, they're gonna search, do a Google search. If they can't find it on Amazon, they're gonna find it from one of the other big distributors. And you know what? We don't wanna compete with them. In fact, we might even sell some of our manufactured products on those big sites. But what more and more people are fiending for today, just like what you and I do with these type of videos, they want that human interaction. They still want to know that even though they're buying a pair of pliers or tweezers, that there's someone there taking accountability and kind of holding their hand through that entire purchasing process. And that's where Rocka has found a sweet spot. We're that hybrid of that giant online distributor and that guy that will still send the sales rep into your office to make sure you're getting exactly what you need.
All right, so you mentioned the word Amazon. Everyone obviously knows that. You mentioned the word Google and being able to just go online and find whatever you want, but you're not incorrect with we all want a personal touch, right? So if I'm gonna get that personal touch and I'm looking for a product, that's where you guys come into play and say, we have darn near everything you need and probably at a better price, partnering continuously with more clients and people out there. So we know by working with you, we're creating a friendship and a partnership and a long-term relationship. So in that thinking, if I'm also interested in partnering with you and I need a distributor, Is that a possibility as well? So we're not just talking to the folks trying to buy product, but also to the people who are looking to expand their company. Is that a possibility?
Absolutely, and I love fielding those conversations because people see what we're doing in the marketplace. They see the disruption. I take that as a compliment. When people come to me and say, Justin, you and Rocka are disrupting the marketplace, that is a huge accomplishment, or compliment to me rather. And
probably both.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. And I love to field those conversations because you get to hear their pain points and the pain points that they're struggling trying to branch into new territories. Maybe it's a company that does all their manufacturing in the United States, and we love that. We want to encourage that, but they're trying to break into a Mexico market. They're trying to break into a Brazil market. And sometimes if you're just selling one or two products, it's hard to get that giant company to take the time and put you on their AVL. And then they want discounts, and they're not going to discount one or two parts for a smaller company, and even for the larger company. But when you work with a company like Rocka Solutions, you can pair and complete that PO with so many other products. Not only are the discounts bigger, the discounts are better, but when you have multiple product and line items on a PO, it's much more encouraging for that company to take the time and make sure that you're on their AVL. And we know it, man. You and I have done this for enough time that the number one challenge is getting your brand on that AVL.
100%. So my job oftentimes when the audience is watching is to make sure that I ask all the questions that I think they would want to know. And Justin, I gotta be honest, this sounds too good to be true. Are there any downsides to working with Rocka? Like, I know you're gonna be like, absolutely none, but it really just sounds like an amazing opportunity for both the buyer and a potential distributor looking to grow their product. It sounds like you called sweet spot already, but it sounds like you've really found a beautiful recipe to allow yourselves to win, the potential buying clients to win, and potential partnering distributors to win.
Yeah, you're I'm an honest man. I felt like I've grown my career by being very transparent and honest. And you know, we've only been around for 6 years. So if you want to say, is it too good to be true? Sometimes we think so because of the tremendous growth. When we hit $50 million in sales last year, we're projected to top 60 million this year. And when they brought me on board a little over a year ago, I told them I'm going to take them up over $100 million. And do I think sometimes I lied? Absolutely. But the fact is that we're now comparing ourselves to the big companies. They're looking to work with us, and it's through those top brands and our work ethic that we're gonna surpass that $100 million mark. And the key to that was truly bringing manufacturing in-house. And people always ask, how can we manufacture these type of products in North America and still be competitive? And it's what I told you right before we jumped on camera. We made sure that we controlled the raw materials in the countries like China and Taiwan where all that stuff is made. And we now bring the raw materials over here and we mass produce in North America. And when you do that, we're able to ship such large amounts that we can truly cut the cost down. And by cutting out other distribution channels, we go direct to the consumer and they save all the money. Now we can pass that cost onto them by working with other distribution channels and letting 2 or 3 or 4 other companies make their money, which I'm not opposed to. But when you go to those big customers and say, no, I made this product, you have them for life.
Justin, do not drop my microphone, but that was a mic drop moment for sure. And you've laid enough Easter eggs now. Let's go ahead and close this out for the audience watching right now. Let's go ahead and show them some products, but you gotta check out the next video because this is Rocka Solutions. This is exciting. 50 million in 6 years, are you freaking kidding me? And now we gotta talk about products. You've dropped the Easter eggs, so check out that video. It's coming next.